Hey guys, it's Laney, and this is an unofficial video. It's not really a Wednesday video. It's just a project I'm working on, and I thought I would shoot a short little bit of it to let you know what's going on. If none of you have heard, or if some of you have heard, maybe all of you haven't, over on Facebook, facebook.com/the UFOWW, the United Federation of Woodworkers, is an organization that I put together, and it's open to all woodworkers of all ages and sizes and skill levels, and no matter how big or small your shop is and where you're coming from, everybody's welcome. I believe that woodworkers are far and wide united by one common goal: their passion for creating and woodworking. And I created this organization to bring woodworkers together, to a way of woodworkers to network with one another and get to know one another and just bond with each other over this commonality that we all have. The United Federation of Woodworkers has nothing to do with politics, race, religion. It's all about woodworking, and it's about our love for woodworking. My passion for woodworking, your passion for woodworking, it's the same. No matter if it's a hobby or something that we do for a living. So in the process, I'm making t-shirts for the United Federation of Woodworkers. And what the project is I'm building a screen printing press to make those t-shirts. And let me grab a couple of examples that I printed last night. You know, just basic t-shirts. And I'm all about wild colors, but you know, they come in basic white. And so when I printed these, I don't have a press, you know, to print a lot of shirts. I just printed these so I have something to wear in my videos. But I want to make these shirts and everything available to you guys that want to be part of just a great community of woodworkers around the world. So I'm making a screen printing press so I can take orders for t-shirts and get them out to you. And that's what this project is. I'll shut up now because I've got a lot of work to do, and I wasn't planning on filming this, but I thought you might want to see a little bit about what I'm doing. The basic start of it is you've got your 2x4s. You've got 3 levels. You've got your base level, which consists of 3 14-inch 2x4s. Basically, we're going to start with the base level, the bottom level, and then end up with all the top and hardware and stuff that holds your actual screen and everything. And I'll go through and talk about, once I get each level built, we'll go through and talk about it. I'm using the Kreg jig and pocket hole screws to put the base together, and the base is basically, like I said, 3 14-inch 2x4s assembled in an I shape, like the letter I. Everything is assembled in the letter I. Now, you don't need to use glue with the Kreg jig pocket hole screws, but I like to. Just that little extra help, because this thing is going to get a lot of use, I'm hoping. Hoping to print a bunch of shirts. But if you go check out facebook.com/UFOWW, the United Federation of Woodworkers, you'll see some of the posts and meet some of the woodworkers, and be sure to like it. You know, stop by and give me a like. Alright, so the base is done. This is real rough construction. You know, it's not anything that, you know, it ain't got to be pretty. It's got to be functional. It's all about function. It's not about aesthetics. Alright. So layer 2 consists of the Platen arm, which is 45 inches, and 2 4-inch 2x4s, which come in towards the back to kind of, is where you're going to put your little eye bolts for the springs that we're going to do in the next layer. But the next process is getting this screwed on there. And I'm not going to glue and screw this one on, because in case I ever need to change out something, I want to be able to disassemble this part. I did glue and screw the base together because I want that solid. But these levels here, I'm just going to screw together. So that takes care of the base and the platen arm. Now we've got these two 4-inch blocks that get mounted. It's hot in here, guys, so I got to keep that air running if the audio messes up. Sorry about that, but burning up. Alright, so layer 3 consists of a 9-inch 1x4, and going to be using oak for that one because I just happen to have oak 1x4 laying around. And you want, this is where you get critical, you want this to be pretty much in line with that platen arm and nice and as square as possible. I'm just using a chop saw for everything to cut everything to its length. There's a list of hardware. Need some C-clamps. 4 3.5-inch 3/8 inch bolts, nuts and washers. And I got 8 washers. I think I'm going to do one at the top, one at the bottom. That's what's going to anchor this to your table or bench or wherever you're going to set it up. And I'm not going to use these yet. I don't know where I need to set it up at. Need 2 4-inch springs, and these are the 4.5-inch springs. Real simple. You can get everything at Lowe's or any hardware store. And I've got 2, it says 7.5-inch on there, turnbuckles. Just 2 turnbuckles. 7.5-inch turnbuckles. And a hinge, which is what we're about to use right now. And you want to get a relatively heavy-duty hinge because there's going to get a lot of work and you don't want a lot of play in it. Some threaded inserts and 4 eye bolts. You know, just regular eye bolts. And that's it for the hardware. Real simple, basic stuff. And the hinge is going to go on top of the 1x4 and on the bottom of the 2x4. You want to make sure that your arm is right in line with your platen. So the next layer consists of a 5-inch 2x4 cut at, it's not a 45, it's more of a degree. You're basically going to cut from 5 inches down to, and on the back side I've got about a 1/4 inch there. So whatever that angle is, I had to use my bandsaw to cut it. And I'm going to center, I made a little center mark on it, and I've got a center mark on this 1x4, and I pre-drilled my hole, so I'm just going to screw this into that. So now you take it, if you get your hands on a 2x2, it's going to be 5 inches also. And basically, it's going to be mounted to this arm, and when it comes up, it stops. Boom. It keeps the arm from going all the way back. So there's an angle that we need to cut at the end, and we need to determine that angle. Nope, 45 degrees is good on a 5-inch piece. Like I said, I'm filming this live. Nothing is planned out. I'm going off of what I listened to and heard on a video. The end result, you want this 2x2 to lay flat against the face of this 2x4. Bam, when it hits. And on this 2x2, since there's only really one screw holding it on, I am going to add a little bit of glue to it. Perfect. Alright. So now, going to need some angle iron. 1.5 by 1.5 is fine. And it's going to get, I'm going to cut it down to size, to the same size as my screen. And then it gets screwed into the face of this 2x4. And then we'll get some C-clamps. There's some other stuff going on. But before I do that, I want to get my eye bolts in. You get one on each side of the back, the little 2-inch or the little 4-inch 2x4s that you had both in there. One on each side of that. I'm going to go about the center, and then you get 2 in the side, upper side of this arm back here, and the turnbuckles, and that's what's going to keep your tension and everything. And it'll also help eliminate that play a little bit if there's any play in your spring or your hinge. And the eye hooks I'm using, you could probably get bigger ones or what have you. It's the .106 by 1 13/16. They look pretty meaty, and there's not a lot of weight or a lot of pressure on them, so I don't have any worries about these eye hooks getting pulled out or something like that. You don't want the real small ones, but you do want something that's a little meaty.